Hello, fifth grade. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April, and this is our language time. We're going to do it in two parts. So let's look at page 122. We're going to do 122 to 124 today, but I want us to look at part one on page 122. It says prepositional phrases used as adverbs. So yesterday we talked about using them as adjectives. So you're going to see the same concept, except you're going to be looking for verbs that the prepositional phrase modifies or gives us details about. Okay, so here I'm looking at the top, and it says when a prepositional phrase does the job of an adverb, it modifies a verb, an adjective, or an adverb. It will answer the question where, when, how often, or to what extent. So let's look at this example. It says this year we will be studying only adverb prepositional phrases which modify verbs. Prepositional phrases which modify verbs can come before or after the verb. Notice how the phrases in the following examples all modify the verb walked. They answer the adverb question where or when. So you could see here, across the fields walked the boy and his dog. Your prepositional phrase is across the fields. It's giving us details about the verb walk. So it's an adverb. We walked through the dark tunnel. Through the dark tunnel is a prepositional phrase giving us details about the verb walked. Every day before sunrise, Dad walked a mile. Before sunrise is giving us details about walked. We walked to school during the rain showers. That would be fun. To school during the rain showers is a prepositional phrase giving us details about the verb walked. All right? So just like yesterday when we talked about adjectives, except now we're looking for verbs. The prepositional phrases, like I said, will be adverbs that are giving us information about verbs. All right? So look at think, number one. Place parentheses around each prepositional phrase, and then in the blank, write the verb that it modifies. Okay, so let's look at number one. We walked by the riverbank. So I see my preposition, it should say by the riverbank, right? I'm sorry. Let me put the word bank. Here's my blue. By the riverbank. Okay. So we mark our preposition by the river bank. All right, and that's our prepositional phrase, and it's giving us details about the verb walked. So you write walked in the blank. Like I said, it's exactly like what we did yesterday, except today we are identifying verbs. Okay, so we walk by the riverbank. By the riverbank is our prepositional phrase, giving us details about the verb walked. So it's used as an adjective in this sentence. Number two, the school picnic was held in the walnut grove. Your prepositional phrase is in the walnut grove. It's giving us details about was held. So we write the verb was held. So the school picnic was held in the walnut grove. All right, so that's number two. I'm looking at my book here. Number three, Solomon became king after David. So our prepositional phrase is after David. The verb that it is modifying is became. So you write became in the blank. Okay? After David is the prepositional phrase giving us details about the verb became. Number four, Jesus was crucified on Golgotha. We just celebrated Easter. Thank you, Lord. On Golgotha. On is the preposition. Golgotha is the object of the preposition, and it's giving us details about was crucified. The verbs are was crucified. So we write was crucified in the blank. On Golgotha was crucified. Okay? Number five, in the pasture frolicked two ponies. So we know our prepositional phrase is in the pasture. Our object is in, pasture, the preposition is in, pasture is the object, and your verb is frolicked, Frolicked. All right? Number 6, Magellan's crew sailed around the world. Around the world is your prepositional phrase, and it's giving us details about the verb sailed. So we write sailed in the blank. That's a verb that it modifies. All right, so let's go through this one more time. In this particular lesson, our prepositional phrases are being served as adverbs, giving us details about the verbs. So in number 1, our prepositional phrase was by the riverbank. By the riverbank is giving us details about walked. So we write walked in the blank. Number 2, our prepositional phrase is in the walnut grove. In is our preposition. Grove is our object. It's giving us details about was held. Was held is our verb, therefore it's an adverb, that prepositional phrase. All of these are adverbs. Solomon became king after David. After is our preposition. David is our object. After David is giving us details about the verb became. Number 4, Jesus was crucified on Golgotha. On Golgotha is our prepositional phrase, giving us details about the verb was crucified. So you write was crucified in the blank. Number 5, in the pasture frolicked 2 ponies. In the pasture is our prepositional phrase. In is our preposition. Pasture is object. It's giving us details about the verb frolicked. So we write frolicked in the blank. Magellan's crew sailed around the world. Around the world is our prepositional phrase, giving us details about the verb sailed. So we write sailed in our blank where we put the verbs. So you're going to do that on numbers 7 through 15, exactly what we did. And like I said, we'll go over these during our Zoom sessions, okay? So that's what you're going to do on page 122. So that is the first part. And then I'm going to come back in a minute with part 2. I need to erase the board and set it up. That's why I can't do it all at the same time. I don't want to waste your time. So you could be working on this, and I'm going to prepare, and we will look at part 2.